So today we're going to talk about something slightly different. Cross pens. So Cross has been a company in Rhode Island since the 1800s. This is a stand I got off of Amazon. I tried the best I could to take an old Cross logo and put it in here. Cross Pens basically was in Rhode Island making all of the pens there, minus a couple in Japan and a couple in Ireland until the 2005-ish. And then it went all overseas to China. They are now owned by multiple private equity companies. So we're going to start off with some of the Cross pens here that I own and I've recently gotten back into because as a nurse, I'm not really doing much paper documentation anymore. I'm not going in the patient rooms as much with pens anymore. I'm not writing things down. Everything's all on the computer. But we do have our report sheet and our Post-it notes. And I do carry a cheap pen with me. This is my latest cheap pen I carry as a throwaway pen, as if I had to go in a patient room that was dirty or if I had to give it to a family member to sign paperwork, although most stuff's on iPad and MyChart and other associated things now. We're rarely, if ever, really doing full paper signing anymore. It's there and it's not there, depending on where you work. But I got 60 of these for like $20. And these pens here, these Papermate Elite profile ball pens, as of late, they've been breaking right here when I write. The bottom of it snaps. You need these type of pens to write on Post-it notes. I have long retired the good old G207 Pilot because I'm rarely, if ever, filling out paper forms anymore. I can't even think of very few. Mine's temperature logs on a refrigerator or something. I'm very rarely using these. So a ballpoint pen versus a gel pen is the way to go. Because the way I write and the way I hold my pen, you can kind of see it right here. I hold it in such a way that it gets all weird with the ball on it and everything. And these do not write well on Post-it notes at all. So that leaves us with a ballpoint type pen, which the Cross ballpoint type pens are perfect for. Anyhow, we're going to go over Cross pens and a little bit of the history. As mentioned before, the company was in Lincoln, Rhode Island, and my friend's family worked there for a very long time. And when it closed, went overseas in 2005, it really kind of hurt the local economy there. And as far as I know, even today, they moved their location from Lincoln, Rhode Island, which is where their manufacturing plant was, to some stupid office in Providence. I don't think they make anything at all anymore in their buildings. I can't confirm it, but I can't get any information on it. I don't think they make anything there anymore. Very limited support. Similar to what happened with Polaroid. Now, Cross pens you may not know about if you're not from the U.S., or if you're not in law enforcement, or if you're not from that era. But the Cross pen used to be something that a man could put in their suit coat or in their pocket, their breast pocket, and have a nice solid pen to write with at all times. It is used in a lot of uniform type situations, like with the police still, north and south, as a uniform type pen that looks very formal and very nice. It also was a woman's Cross pen, which was designed to be placed in the purse and has no clip on it. So it could be placed in the pocket in the purse, woman's purse. So first off, we're going to start with the most common stuff. Now, unless known, these are all U.S. made. Some of this stuff I inherited, some of it I didn't. I went on a little binge here, but it makes me happy. And when I have to write Post-it notes and get report and write patient information down, I just feel so much better using a Cross pen. Because I grew up in an era where the firefighter would arrive, paramedic would arrive on scene, and he or she would get a little flip notebook, and take their vital signs using a Cross pen. Because I grew up in New England and close to the Cross pen factory area. So first we have one of the most common sets of Cross pens that you will see. The most common set is it's called Cross Chrome, also known as Illustrious Chrome. This is the set that you get for your grandfather, your father, whoever. Anybody wearing a suit back in the day. Illustrious Chrome, made in the USA. This is the most common set of cross pens you will see. One is a pencil and one is a pen. The pencil has loose lead in it. You go like this and the lead comes out. However, it is not a click like a Bic pen. You just keep running the lead till it comes out. If you need more lead, originally it was an eraser here. This was my grandfather's, by the way, who worked at Polaroid from 1974 to 1993. You get out just in time before things went crappy. This is the eraser. And then in here are various pieces of lead. You would have to reload this pencil by sticking the lead in here. It's kind of a difficult process. Then, of course, you have your Illustrious Chrome ballpoint pen, which takes refills like this. I'll go over this company in a minute here at the end of the video. I found a reliable source for ballpoint refills, finally. So next we have, and then they give you these instructions on how to use it. I mean, this is like some vintage stuff here. The erasers, I don't think you even get the erasers anymore. And there's different points you can use, fine point, whatever. I just like ballpoint pens. Well, a ballpoint pen, basically medium or whatever, is basically equivalent to, Bic pen, but a lot nicer writing. I mean, this is just beautiful. 1982, manufactured in the USA, the guarantee. Now, the factory is gone. This address isn't right. But if you do have a cross pen that's broken, since they're owned by private equity, and I'm not trying to slash private equity here, but they'll at the most they'll send you a new one. They will not fix it if it's sentimental, from what I've heard. Something's going to go wrong with these pens. I'll go over it in a minute, but unless it's engraved or something, you can replace all this stuff or get a new one. It's not that difficult. I mean, look at this here. You walk in an office in the 70s, and you have the desk set. So there's a pen always there where you fill out your paperwork. This is something that's all but gone from the era of offices. The closest thing we see to a desk set is that chain pen that you see at the bank or at a doctor's office that's on a clipboard that you can fill out things. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. All made in the U.S. So next we're going to talk about engravement pens. Now, what would happen would be somebody's going to retire from the city or a job, or they get promoted, or more so, I would think, as a promotion thing for earning a certification or years of working at a facility, at a place. Very similar. This is the New England equivalent of the gold 25-year watch. It would be something like this. And hopefully I have the right one. Look at that, I do. So my dad worked for the Chrysler Corporation. He had to take all these certification tests. And they gave him this pen when he took all the certifications tests, because he's a teacher over there for a community college, and back when Chrysler had their own in-house training centers. And this was the peak of Chrysler, in my opinion. Right around the time before all the BIOS, but right when the Charger was coming out. And we had the Ram trucks and the Dakotas and all these things coming out. And the PT Cruiser, love it or hate it, it made Chrysler a lot of money. Anyhow, I want to try to get this to focus here. It says here, Chrysler certified. Now, some men and women will get their initials engraved into their pens. I don't really see as much of that, though. I mostly see things like this. Just as a respect thing. This is hardly done anymore. I don't keep any refills in here in this particular pen because it doesn't leave the house. So commonly you see them awarded like this, out of a sign of respect. And many of these pens, my dad carried this pen, in his breast pocket for many years until I think they switched his. I think he stopped wearing like shirts that had pockets in them, and he went back to community college and he stopped carrying this. And by that point, I think we were going more into iPads and more computerized stuff. So this will be like the most common example. The second most common example of somebody earning a cross pen would be something like this. And I paid way too much for this, by the way. I talked the guy down. So, I used to work for Price Chopper, the company. This is not my pen. But I found it on eBay. And I talked the guy down to $40. These are gold-filled, sure. But they're not worth a ton of money. Here I had to lubricate it with some oil, utilizing this type of oil here. It's a little oil thing here. Doesn't necessarily have to be this brand, but something like this. And unfortunately, I tried very lightly, but you can see the damage here, right here. I had to use the channel locks to manipulate it because it was stuck. Whoever had this pen used it. This pen would be issued to like an executive, a manager, somebody who's worked for the company for a long time. And it would be carried in his or her pocket, suit pocket. We're talking about like, I'll put a picture of a man with one in his pocket, a suit coat with tie or a pocket. And this pen here, while it's really, ornamental, would be somebody who's really worked really hard for the company and earned that respect. It could be for years of service. It could be winning an award. It could be making manager. I don't know exactly what this is. I asked some people at Price Chopper. This has the older logo on it from pre-1988. So, but still, it's a beautiful pen. Moving forward here. Now, a quick story. How did I get interested in cross pens? Well, I knew they existed. I knew my dad had one, but I wasn't really into it. And in high school, I found a pen like this on the bus. I really wish it would focus on it. Now, the pens I'm showing you here are the Cross. They're called the Classic Black. There's different names for them that it will go by. But I found a pen like this on the school bus. I eventually lost it, and I realized it wrote really well. Very well. And I bought this pen because it's similar to one I found on the school bus. Let's stack all these in here so we can just see the whole collection as we go along here. And I keep my inserts right here in case I need more. Currently, I'm actually running original AT Cross inserts. Next, we're going to go into some different Cross stuff that is not made in that is towards the end of Cross's era. So what Cross got into in the mid-90s was something called the Solo pen, which was made in Japan but licensed by Cross. And it was really nice. A nice, bigger, thicker pen that you could write with the same inserts and mechanisms as the usual pens. As you can see here, this one here has Lincoln, Rhode Island, and the Ireland address. I don't know what they made. I think they made refills. They did something in Ireland with the Cross pens. I don't know. I'm not going to do the research into that. I'm going to really make a Cross pen history video because nobody's really done one, and the history on the website's incomplete. But this is the Solo. And what it would be is you get like, enable a company on there. This company's from Seattle. I don't know what they do. Don't ask me. But open and close like a regular Cross pen. Plastic, a little bit bigger, more modern for the time. Because by the 90s, we were using bigger pens. Of course, your insert, very similar mechanism too. It's like a regular Cross pen inside of here. Then I bought one at my own at a place called, you may have heard of it, called Staple. I didn't realize this, but this is a Cross Solo that I bought. So this pen I use is a beater pen when I worked in the pharmacy. And it's dark blue, and then it's translucent. But that's not right. I took this from another pen that I had. And the cap of this eventually broke. I think I closed it in the door when I was delivering meds when I worked at the psych hospital in the pharmacy there. This one's kind of unique, as in it's kind of rare. It's not super like worth a ton of money rare, but I've seen like full translucent pens go for like $50. It just reminds me when I used to work in the pharmacy. Then we have another one here. Now we're going to when Cross sold out and started going over to China. This is a Cross ATX pen that I bought from Staples in the mid-2000s, probably 2010-ish. And I really like it. It's the ATX. They still make this one today. It's all metal, similar to our regular Cross pens. And it's real smooth. Then finally, but last but not least, and it's the Cross something. It's a newer Chinese pen. But I really liked how dark it was. I mean, it's Chinese, but man, is it smooth. All black, all tactical. I really wish this pen really kind of took off more. I really wish they'd sell this more. Because this would be good for the modern law enforcement officer who has all that gear on them and all the, the carrier and all that, where it doesn't shine as much. Refills. This company here, although they don't make black refills for some reason in two set tubes. This will be going to work with me to sit at my desk in case I need a refill. But I keep my refills here. Currently, I'm running, believe it or not, I am running original AT Cross refills from, I don't know when, Lincoln, Rhode Island, 02865, medium. I've been running these, and they're holding up pretty well. I don't write as much as I used to, like I said earlier in the video, so hopefully these will last a bit. But, some of the time gone by, and it really, Cross pen's kind of forgotten, but it really is the real nostalgia and how things used to be. Not so much anymore, though. The only thing Cross pens seem to be really popular for nowadays are some corporate people still probably, and they're real popular in law enforcement and police and fire as part of the uniform. And that's it for